What is the stigma in addressing mental health?
The stigma of addressing mental health in the Black community in particular is one where we shame people. We were taught to be strong and that we could just keep pushing beyond however we felt or whatever was going on in our lives that was causing us despair. However, I have found in my personal life with family members how impactful it can be on others. Your children in particular. In the world they live in, there's so much pressure the world creates a lot of pressure on them to fit in places here, there. You have to do this, you have to do that. And I have 2 children who suffer with mental health illnesses. So for me, it's a challenge because each child is different. They both require something different. One spirals all the time. And it creates anger in that person. The other one is sad all the time because that person is always depressed. And then as you look around at all the crime and all the things that people are doing behind COVID, mental health is real. COVID brought out all of the people who had mental health issues, brought them to the forefront because they were so isolated. Then when we were released back into the world, they didn't know what to do. They're angry, they're frustrated. Some are even violent, and it is definitely something that we need to address because it's destroying the Black community. You know, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil is how we address mental health. And instead of it being shameful, we need to address it. The only way anything gets better is to be addressed.
I feel like you avoided this album title.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I mean what it says right here on the
I hate
title.
being bipolar. It's awesome. I have a theory about you, so tell me if this is correct. I feel like you feel like being bipolar is part of what makes you brilliant, part of what makes you you, and you embrace it.
Yeah, I think that's another one of those things where people are like, how are you going to talk about it? The funny thing is, this is something I was like on the internet before. It was kind of funny, but it's not an opposite. It's not I hate being bipolar. It's awesome. It's actually, it drives more of how you really feel. It doesn't do an opposite thing. So I think it's important for us to have conversations about, open conversations about mental health, especially with me being Black, because we never had therapists in the Black community. We never approached like taking medication. And I think it's good that when I had my first complete blackout at age 5, my mom didn't fully medicate me because I might have never been yay. And there's times where at least I'm happy that I know, like even like for this interview, I knew I wanted to stay in a calm state because by the time I got to TMZ, I was ramped up. So what was awesome is that the world got to really experience someone in a ramped up state. And that's when you get these comments that just shoot out, like almost like Tourette's.
Because you have highs and lows. And when you have a high, you're on a roll. And when you have a low, you're not.
Well, there's some cases of bipolar where people go low. I'm one that goes high. Like Michelle Obama said.
So you don't have extreme periods of depression?
Oh, no.
No. Oh.
No. Because I just say it. I'll say on real TV, like, oh, I thought about killing myself, and then the thought is gone,
It sounds to me you got precisely the reaction you wanted by wearing that hat.
I didn't want a reaction.
You wanted a reaction.
No.
You knew there was going to be a reaction.
I knew there was going to be a reaction, but I'm just living my life day by day, doing what I feel and what the Spirit calls upon me to do.
But it also opens up this dialogue that you're not apologizing, because everybody else, when they make a statement like that, they end up apologizing because they're so worried about what people say on social media.
Well, you know why when I went to visit him the first time, right
after the election.
Yeah, and I took the tweets down and everything.
Yeah.
Because I was drugged the fuck out, bro. I was drugged out. I was on opioids. 2 days after I got off of opioids, and I was addicted to opioids, 2 days I got off of opioids, I'm in the hospital, right? I'm taking hey, everyone listen to this, please. 2 days before I was in the hospital, I was on opioids. I was addicted to opioids. I had plastic surgery because I was trying to look good for y'all. I got liposuction because I didn't want y'all to call me fat like y'all called Rob at the wedding and made him fly home before me and Kim got married. I didn't want y'all to call me fat, so I got liposuction, right? And they gave me opioids, right? And I started taking 2 of them and then driving to work on the opioids, right? Then my boy, and I'd always ask my boy, to hand me if it's, we on tour, give me some weed, blah, blah, blah. So he had to go give me the opioids. And there was talks amongst my camp, like, Ye's popping pills, right? So when he handed this to me, he said, this is used to kill genius, right? So I didn't take it. 2 days later, I'm in the hospital. I was taking 2 pills a day at that time. When I left the hospital, how many pills you think I was given? 7. I went from taking 2 pills to taking 7. So the reason why I dropped those tweets and everything, because I was drugged the fuck out, bro. And I'm not drugged out. These pills that they want me to take 3 of a day, I take 1 a week, maybe 2 a week. Y'all had me scared of myself, of my vision. So I took some pills so I wouldn't go to the hospital and prove everyone right. We are drugged out. We are following other people's opinions. We are controlled by the media. And today it all changes. You got Tupac and Lennon in that hallway. Today it all changes. We need to think how to think free. We need to be free thinkers. Then we need to learn how to feel free. People say feel free, but we don't even know how to feel free or think free. Say what you feel. Positive or negative. I just got off the phone with J. Cole. He said, how you feel when they said the Crips is gonna kill you? I said, man, that was the headline. But when they said they wanted to beat me up, I said, that's great. They're my brothers. They love me. They don't want nothing to happen to Ye. They just want to beat some sense into me. I love Daz. I love the Crips. I love the Bloods. I love everyone. How many people how many people felt something that I said today? Raise a hand if you felt something that I said today. Do you feel that do you feel that I'm being free and I'm thinking free?
Yes.
I actually don't think you're thinking anything. I think what you're doing right now is actually the absence of thought. And the reason why I feel like that, because Kanye, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to believe whatever you want. But there is fact and real world, real life consequence behind everything that you just said. And while you are making music and being an artist and living the life that you've earned by being a genius, the rest of us in society have to deal with these threats to our lives.
There are so many facets to mental health, too. I've known people who cut. I know people who do all kind of heinous things. And then life brings, depending on what you have, how you have lived in your life, sometimes manifest in mental illness.
Well, ladies, this is exciting. We're going to be talking about mental health and Black women, a topic that for a long time we didn't hear a lot about, but are slowly starting to hear more women like ourselves talk about mental health. And I know you have all heard the phrase, the strong Black woman. Trisha, when you hear the term strong Black woman, that's your reaction?
I reject it. I dislike it greatly.
Yeah.
I reject it. I know that it has its roots in slavery, in plantation labor, chattel slavery. It is this stereotype that was placed upon black women to box us in, to manipulate us, to make us not see ourselves as full divine beings, to push us. A strong black woman, to me, allows so much time for abuse and manipulation, for not resting, for burning yourself out. Like, we really have to look at what's systematically happening that's making us be so, traumatized by our pace of life. And so the strong black woman has never been anything I've ever related with. Superwoman, I want rest, I want ease, I need help, help me now. I want help. And so I really like to dismantle and pull back the veil around that term. Like, we shouldn't be claiming it.
It makes me think of a Malcolm X quote. 60 years ago, Malcolm X said, "The most disrespected woman in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman." 6 decades later, there are many people who would say not much has changed.
Take the time, instead of being so angry or accusatory or not understanding. You never know what a person's going through. When you look at them, on the outside, they may seem like they're okay, but they're not okay. And then there are others that you can look and know that they're not okay. Make it okay by accepting people and not chastising them or making them feel bad when they have mental illness, because not everybody can control it. Years ago, when my son, I first took him to the mental health facility, they told me that sometimes it's a chemical imbalance. So some people need medication. Other people just need therapy because life has beat them down. And the only way to survive is it manifests itself in a mental issue, health issue. As we embrace ourselves and our culture, we need to embrace all of the things that need to be done for black people and our culture. And not shame people. Just like we shouldn't shame the poor, we shouldn't shame people who have mental health illness.